Hello and welcome to the last episode of Chabot News for this fall 2020 semester. Today is December 16th, 2020. My name is Gabe, and in today's news, we will be covering Taiwan's Christmas celebration and many more holiday news stories coming up on Chabot News. As most of us are going to have a Christmas at home, Taiwan is the only country on Earth with no quarantine. The Taiwan Centers for Disease Control is doing an excellent job of handling the pandemic. The country has reported no local COVID-19 cases since April, with only 600 cases since January. They will be having the first Christmas celebration globally, with around 500,000 people expected to attend. A Christmas market in central England has temporarily closed due to overcrowding just a day after it opened to the public. The city of Nottingham is currently under Tier 3 COVID-19 restrictions. There are the most stringent measures in place. In England, under Tier 3, hospitality is closed except for delivery, drive-through, and takeout. Across Europe, many famous Christmas markets have been canceled due to the pandemic. Now we go to Farai with an update on Santa's working status.
Thanks, Gabe. Children across Ireland are breathing a sigh of relief. Some may have feared that coronavirus might keep Santa Claus grounded this Christmas, but now they can rest easy. The Irish Minister of Foreign Affairs said that the nation's COVID-19 travel and quarantine restriction may not apply to jolly old Saint Nick. Simon Covain announcing the happy news that Santa has been deemed an essential worker.
As Minister for Foreign Affairs, we've been working on the Santa Claus issue for a number of weeks now. And it's important to say to all children in the country that we regard Santa Claus's travels as essential travel for essential purposes, and therefore he is exempt from the need to self-quarantine for 14 days and should be able to come in and out of Irish airspace and indeed in and out of Irish homes without having to restrict his movement. But I am assured that children should not stay up at night because he does need to social distance. And so people need to keep at least 2 meters away at all stage to make sure that we keep him safe and indeed children as well. So he's exempt, he's coming, he's confirmed that, and he appreciates the fact that Ireland has ensured that in a very, very different Christmas in 2020, the visit of Santa Claus will be something that will remain consistent.
Covain also said that Irish government has approved Santa's travel plans as far as flying to Ireland on Christmas Eve. Happy holidays. Back to you, Gab.
Thanks, Ferrari. A Nebraska man is urging people to wear masks by using something many people love: Christmas decorations. Take a look at this. At first glance, Daryl Mellick's Christmas decorations look just like any other, but if you zoom in, you'll notice the giant figures are donning masks. The reason to encourage people to wear them. Daryl, who tested positive for the virus in the spring, says everyone is invited to come and see the decorations. The 70-year-old spent about 4 days working on the display. A sheriff's office in Alabama has removed a social media post showing what's been dubbed thug shoots. It's a picture of a Christmas tree put up at the Mobile County Sheriff's Office, except that it's been digitally altered to show mugshots as ornaments. Deputies also put up inmate slippers on the top. But the backlash was quick to follow from a number of local groups, including the NAACP. It's called the picture disrespectful, suggesting it can further damage the relations between law enforcement and communities. According to media reports, the sheriff's office also received death threats and threats that its building would be burned. The sheriff's office now says the photo has been taken down. In a statement, the office says no post is more important than the lives of its deputies and their work. Now we go to Frank, who has a story about IKEA gingerbread.
Thanks, Gabe. If you're looking for a challenge before assembling new furniture this holiday season, IKEA is offering a free kit to make gingerbread furniture for gingerbread houses. You can start with gingerbread doughs. You download templates, cut them out, and use them to cut the pieces you need out of the dough. You bake the gingerbread, then assemble the pieces using online instructions. It should be a snap. You can make 6 different types of furniture. They include a bookcase, table and chairs, bed frame, rug, and armchair. Now back to you, Gabe.
Thanks, Frank. Holiday sales are surging during the pandemic, boosting people's spirits and boosting sales for the retailers hit hard by the pandemic slump. CNN's Tom Foreman reports.
The holiday rush is on at the Owens house in Virginia. More decorations, more weeks ahead of the celebration,
lighted reindeer,
and more coming.
I went out of my way and spent money that I wouldn't normally because we're not traveling.
Coast to coast, countless others appear to be doing the same, charging into Christmas, Hanukkah, pick your holiday like never before. From this holiday shop in California,
with everything people have been through this year, from not only COVID but murder hornets, goodness, we're ready for some joy.
To this tree farm in Oregon where sales are 5 times higher than usual. While some businesses remain shut down by the virus, others are reporting early and sustained surges.
You can't have a Christmas without a Christmas tree, so we're getting it started today.
In Illinois,
I have never seen anything like this.
This family started building their light display 3 months ago, thrilling local crowds.
Because of COVID-19, I mean, we're all stuck in the house. I mean, Santa might just be wearing a mask in your house.
And at this garden center in Maryland, the calendar has been racing forward with a jingle.
So normally you don't switch over to Christmas until November, but this year it was October.
It was very early. Gosh, we noticed that right away people were purchasing Christmas merchandise because we can't spend as much time doing the things we used to, whether it be retail or restaurants or travel. They want to make the home feel like a special place to be.
All that enthusiasm may really pay off, with holiday spending predicted to rise as much as 5% higher than last year, a big boost to businesses hit by the pandemic slump. And some psychologists say it can be pretty good for the rest of us too. The lights, the decorations, the whole holiday vibe can lift spirits like nothing else.
I am assembling our fake 3-piece Christmas tree.
So if you haven't hauled out the holly, you might get busy because the socially distanced party has already started.
There's one thing that COVID cannot take from us, and it's definitely the Christmas spirit.
Tom Foreman, CNN, Falls Church, Virginia.
Thanks, Tom. Now we go to Taryn with Microsoft's holiday fashion news.
Thanks, Gabe. One of the hottest pieces of fashion this holiday season comes from Microsoft. The multinational technology company's ugly sweater is selling like hotcakes. The price tag on this purposely tacky clothing is $70. Microsoft's ugly sweaters aren't just a tongue-in-cheek bit of public relations, they serve a good purpose. Some of the funds collected this year will go towards a nonprofit Girls with Code, which focus on more females involved with computer science. Microsoft has a long history of humorous clothing. Founder Bill Gates often wore curious clothing, especially when a company is in infant stages. You can find the sweaters in Microsoft's online store. Now back to you, Gabe.
Thanks, Taryn. The pandemic has us adapting to life in so many new ways, and it appears Christmas music is no exception. Eric Barajas explains how one singer is spreading holiday cheer.
Last year, a song that Johnny Gondison of Cyprus wrote in 1965 finally debuted on the air 54 years later on KRBE's Rula and Ryan show. It also debuted right here on ABC 13. But this year's pandemic began to weigh on his mind, so he penned a new version to let kids know that COVID is not stopping Christmas.
I think the kids are getting worried that Christmas was not going to be like last year, and maybe Santa Claus wasn't going to be coming this year. So I got to thinking about that, and I put some words together.
And the COVID Christmas song was born.
COVID-19 can't stop me from bringing toys for girls and boys to find on Christmas morning.
The 2020 version reminds kids that, of course, you need to be good, and this year, that also means washing hands, wearing a mask, and social distancing.
Wear your mask and wash your hands. In my heart, I knew that it was a good song. It had good words, and the tune was a catchy tune that children would like.
Keep social distance when you can.
COVID-19 can't stop me from bringing toys for girls and boys to find on Christmas morning.
Last year's original version, which debuted, ended up getting airplay not only around the nation, but also in 35 countries. Now we go to Eva for her holiday story.
Thanks, Gabe. Hi guys, it's your girl Eva, and I'm here today to tell you a story of when I found out Santa wasn't real when I was 8 years old. I always believed in Santa ever since I could remember. This year was different due to my dad working in the Bay Area and my mom and sisters were in Los Angeles. Most Mexicans have that one tia's house that we all go around for the holidays, and that house was my tia Richo's house. This was my first Mexican Christmas, meaning we celebrate on the 24th instead of the 25th in honor of baby Jesus being born. It also means we'd stay up until midnight and exchange gifts. And so when that day came, all my tios were in the backyard smoking and drinking beer, and all my tias were inside the house gossiping as usual. Little me was so excited to stay up with my cousins in hopes of seeing Santa on his sleigh riding in the dark of night. Once it was midnight, I was confused about why I had to open my presents, but I did it anyways, and I liked it. After that, I remember going to the front porch and looking out at the night sky, realizing that Santa did not come all of that night. And that is when I stopped believing in Santa. And the moral of the story is, kids, don't go to a Mexican Christmas party because it will make you realize that Santa isn't real. Like that. Happy holidays, guys, and back to you, Gabe.
Thanks, Eva. Volunteers with 2 San Diego nonprofits delivered bags of essentials to seniors in need Tuesday, Saturday. They also brought holiday cheer and costumes to capture the spirit of the season. Vanessa Van Hyft spoke with them.
Ho, ho, ho!
Santa traded his sleigh for a U-Haul. Inside, bags stuffed to the brim to show our seniors downtown at the Potiker they are loved.
These people receive very little, so they only get the 3 meals a day that are provided to them. So they don't have the opportunity to receive something new, like a bath towel and a washcloth and a new toothbrush.
Volunteers from the nonprofits serving seniors and Friends of Downtown teamed up to deliver 200 goodie bags to seniors, donated items to people who are shut in during this pandemic.
This is a reminder that the community is still out there and cares about them, supports them. There is a gentleman last year who had received this bag who, waited till Christmas to open it because a lot of times this is the only gift that they are going to receive.
So many here have no family and are alone on Christmas Day.
Serving Seniors sent us several pictures last year, and we got to see the senior citizens receiving them, and it just brings tears to your eyes.
The grassroots organizations have made this a holiday tradition downtown for more than 20 years, but perhaps this year it has never meant more.
We hope that warms their hearts the same way it warms our hearts.
Thanks, Vanessa. The recipients live at the Potiker Family Senior Residence. It's a low-income apartment building with about 200 studio units. Now we go to Armando for an update on Toys for Tots.
Thanks, Gabe. Despite the pandemic, Toys for Tots will be coming through for kids in northern Michigan this holiday season. Due to COVID-19, organizers had to reduce the number of volunteers involved, but that doesn't mean they are cutting down on numbers of toys they are giving away. Since 1947, the Marine Corps has collected Christmas toys for children in need. This year, with so many unemployed, there may be a greater need than ever before. Volunteers were happy to put in an extra effort as they gathered their toys at the Coast Guard Air Base in the Traverse City on Sunday. The Traverse City Toys for Tots effort collected more than 25,000 toys last year. Nationwide, Toys for Tots had distributed more than 584 million toys to date. Now back to you, Gabe.
Thanks, Armando. Rudolph's Christmas trees, a staple in the Las Vegas Valley for decades. They usually open on Black Friday every year, but this year, lines formed 3 days earlier, starting the earliest tree shopping season ever. Alex Gore reports.
We're seeing families, we're seeing elderly folks coming out and get a live Christmas tree again.
We've done artificial in the past. I love the smell of a new tree.
It's a trend John Rubico, owner of Rudolph's Christmas Trees, is seeing at his locations across the valley.
Most people are leaving their fake Christmas tree in the closet this year and coming out and buying the real thing.
The real Christmas industry struggled to attract young buyers in recent years as more people turned to shipping artificial trees. But according to a recent survey by the Christmas Tree Promotion Board, many people who put up an artificial tree last year plan to buy a real tree this year, many citing the pandemic as the reason.
It's been a tough year for a lot of people, so we just need a little bit of joy in our lives, and I think that we're kind of, wanting that early.
Shoppers like Karen and Doug are even seeking their perfect tree earlier than usual.
But it does really make it a little bit something to look forward to in kind of a bleak year, so hopefully we'll have even more to look forward to next year.
Rubico says he's already seeing a 30% increase in sales this season.
I think families this year want to spend time together. And part of that tradition is buying a Christmas tree and the experience of buying it as a family.
Online sales also on the rise. People can purchase a variety of trees from $25 to $5,000 and have it delivered free to their door.
And on a Christmas tree lot, if you see more than 20 or 25, that's a very rare occurrence.
Nevadans practicing old-fashioned values in a time unusual for all.
Merry Christmas.
In Las Vegas.
And Happy New Year, and we can do this together.
Alexis Gorey, News 3.
Thanks, Alexis. Now we go to Eric.
Thanks, Gabe. Walmart is launching a holiday light show across the United States. The free and contactless experience will use nearly 1,000 Intel drones to create three-dimensional shapes in the sky, like snowflakes, reindeer, and presents. A soundtrack of classic and modern holiday favorites will accompany the visual presentation. The show kicks off Friday in Kansas City, Kansas, before moving on to Dallas, San Antonio, Texas, Doswell, Virginia, Phoenix, Charlotte, North Carolina, Sacramento, California, and Fayetteville, Arkansas. For those not in one of the previously named cities, you can still enjoy the show. Walmart is broadcasting Saturday's show live on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok channels. Now back to you, Gabe.
Thanks, Eric. A Missouri resident has one impressive light show, but that's just the start of what he's done to celebrate Christmas in 2020. Steve Harris reports.
Christmas lights, music, toy trains, and Shriners. These are a few of Jeff's favorite things.
I'm a 66-year-old kid at heart.
Jeff Eulemeyer started with this decoration.
And I keep adding things every year.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
From the top of his roof to the top of his wall, the yard of his South County home has it all, including a working miniature train.
You know, it's a childhood dream. I always wanted to own a train.
He bought this 1950s-era electric train from a retired carnival worker in Ohio.
Spent the last 15 years or so trying to get it restored.
With 2 working cars and 3 others he's working on, it's the centerpiece of his display. He offers free rides for children that stop by.
I wanted to make it so that when the little kids are riding the train, that they're kind of imagining they're riding through a little miniature winter wonderland.
There are still reminders of reality. Face masks are required, and the cars are sanitized after each ride. And then there's the donation jar. Not for Jeff, mind you. See, his uncle was a Shriner.
And I wanted to do something to give back to the Shriners and then do it in memory of my Uncle Oscar.
Last year, he collected $316 for Shriners Hospital. However, donations are not required. But smiles are. And when he sees children riding his train,
I get butterflies in my stomach, and I feel like I'm in their shoes.
And of course, being a big kid myself, I wanted to do a little active reporting and give it a try. Because it's like they say in that movie, it doesn't matter where a train's going. What matters is deciding to get on. Steve Harris, News 4.
Thanks, Steve. Now we go to Sit Lolly with more Christmas news.
Thanks, Gabe. 2020 has been a very difficult year for thousands of families, but the spirit of generosity is still alive and well during this holiday season. Shelby Kulber brings us more on what a family from Illinois is doing to bring hope and joy during the season.
In a year of so many downs, one Coal Valley yard has some ups, blow-ups that is, and around 130 of them.
We started this back in 2007 when we had a house fire for our kids. It gave them something to look forward to.
There's plenty of familiar Christmas faces and some unexpected ones, even a 26-foot tall snowman, all spaced out for visitors to explore.
It just really takes you back to what Christmas is actually all about.
That's Stephanie Genova. Her and her husband Tony are known for their Christmas celebrations.
Every year we do more and more, and every year we get more and more people, and this is the most we've had so far.
This year, the Genovas brought in Mr. and Mrs. Claus, kids' crafts, hot chocolate, and goodie bags.
It was really fun. I really like all the light-up things. The hot cocoa was delicious. Oh, yeah.
But there's another side to this free event.
We're accepting donations of food items and also monetary donations.
It's the family's second annual kickoff to Christmas, and the donations will be creating food baskets for families in need.
Every family gets a pie, either a turkey or a ham, one box of stuffing, vegetables, along with gravy, plus dinner rolls, so they get quite a bit of stuff.
Last year, the Genovas made 5 baskets. This year, they're hoping for 10 or more.
So that's the reason we mostly are doing it, for the enjoyment of others.
Spreading a little holiday cheer at a time when we could all use some.
Thank you, Shelby. It is inspiring to see how people come together as a community to show love and generosity despite a very difficult year. Back to you, Gabe.
Thanks, Itlali. A 5-year-old from California is waiting for his Make-A-Wish dreams come true. He wants to become a mailman, but in the meantime, he has a very important job, getting letters to Santa. Heather Jensen has this story.
Oh, hold the mistletoe.
No holiday season is complete without a Christmas carol or two. Just ask Mateo, who's in tune with the Christmas spirit.
And holly jolly Christmas.
This Stockton 5-year-old doesn't miss a beat.
Never.
Maybe it's why Santa personally picked him to help out for the holidays this year. And Mateo is excited for his mission.
To get randos to Santa.
His job for the day,
Dear Santa,
make sure holiday wishes
Mom, can you read this?
like his make it to the big man in red.
Please?
His letter to Santa asks for a new toy. But part of his gift is step 1 of fulfilling his dreams to become like one of his personal heroes, the mailman.
I just hold it to the window and watch him, and he just he's nice to us.
Mateo is one of many Make-A-Wish kids whose wishes can't be granted during the pandemic. Over the last 4 years, Mateo has battled leukemia, his dream of being a mailman put on pause. But while he's patiently waiting, his mom hopes days like this one are a boost to his spirits.
I think something like this is what he really needed.
Things like a visit from a family friend, what she wished for,
happiness and an end to COVID,
is relatable. Each gift, each wave, and each song, just a few of Mateo's favorite things.
And then I don't feel so bad.
Thanks, Heather. And finally, this might be the best way to liven up a Christmas tree. An Australian woman came home to find a koala hanging on her tree like an ornament. She called the rescue organization 1300 Koalas to help her remove the misplaced marsupial when they answered the call. They originally thought it was a prank, but the organization arrived to remove the female koala from the Christmas tree. She is now climbing a tree outside the house she broke into. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 for more Chabot TV. Have a happy holiday and stay safe.